Ladies and gentlemen, Gunkins droids, all you mean, lean, hot fighting machines, I need you guys to womp right now on that like button because I am liking what I'm seeing out there in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Coming in, plenty of room aboard the biggest and deadliest Star Destroyer here in our video game division. Today, my friends, it's basically the first kind of reflective day after the first Grand Arena on what people are doing with one of the craziest, most powerful datacrons. Maybe not as powerful as the Rebel Solo or Organa, what we talked about the other day, but still, if you like Darth Sidious datacron, you're gonna love this even more, my friends. Come on over. We got tons and tons of gameplay showing with just one Grand Arena. Tons and tons of gameplay on Wampa essentially being a Galactic Legend, taking out a variety of GLs like Leia, Jabba, some Supreme Leader Kylo Rens, and Grand Arena Territory Wars as well. And a couple of little funny stuff that you should stick to towards the end. Other ideas of what you can do with the Wampa card. Other things, yeah. Just hold on to your butts here. Speaking of holding on to your butts, I don't really know how to segue into this, but hold on to your butts because I think since Wampa's gonna be the hottest topic for the next few months, I added a new tab on the Ultimate Galaxy of Heroes spreadsheet that I have linked down below if you are not familiar with this. Added a new tab for Wampa. Wampa gets their own faction tag here. The people, I want to make sure whether datacron or not, you have your Wampa modded correctly. And big thanks to people. He's super excited about this Wampa. Oh, the datacron shenanigans. Put together this nice graphic for us, letting us know how we need to capitalize on Wampa's power this season. Of course, if you want one-on-one modding help on your roster, tips, reach out to people. There's an email, Discord tag, and that graph you can reach out to. But we want to rock 4 health sets, 2 tenacity sets. So again, more or less basically the same what we've been doing for a while now. We really need to capitalize on this health. Sprinkle in a little bit of tenacity in there. And baby, get ready to see those damage numbers that Wampa's putting out. When I used Wampa datacron the first time yesterday, I was like, holy cow, I'm hitting for like millions of damage here. Now, of course, let me make sure, if it's not clear, Wampa is getting all this crazy power because of the datacron. And listen, again, yeah, I know datacron's big feeling, blah, 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 blah. You know, again, we've been talking about this for 3 years now. The focus datacrons are going to be, especially with the recent changes, making these way cheaper than before to put together in terms of datacron materials. If you're just doing like kind of the bare minimum for conquest, right? You're doing your nodes, you know, maybe you're going for gold crate. Everybody should be able to get the 2 following datacrons for free. You don't need to do any crazy crystal spending. The level 3 on Rolo datacron, everybody. Again, this is basically given away completely free, minimal effort. I'm talking like 5 minutes of effort. This is probably the most powerful datacron we've seen in Galaxy Heroes. We talked about this extensively. I would skip out on Darth Vader right now. Unfortunately, we made a video on it. I mean, I did it for testing purposes, but I still can't help but feel, boy, I wasted resources on it. It's not that good. Wampa should be the number 2 datacron you get this season for, well, 2 reasons. Wampa, of course, and as we're going to talk about towards the end, you can do some good stuff beyond Wampa with just these stats. 100% offense, 100% crit damage, 150% armor penetration. Yeah, sign me the heck up. We'll talk about that towards the end. But obviously, all this big power we're seeing is, of course, you need the Omicron. But this is basically giving a Wampa a minigun that's filled with nuclear bombs in it on that level 9. The level 9 is going to be incredibly important. I only have level 7 on my free-to-play account. It's not quite the same without that level 9 because obviously Wampa can be used in Territory Wars now with the Omicron. Cool. But the big thing here, Wampa's going to get the 100% defense, the 100% max health, which is why it's going to pair great with the modding suggestions we have, and 100% max protection. Yeah, baby. And also immune to daze and stun, the 2 biggest problems Wampa encounters. No more problems with that. Wampa attacks out of turn, you get to ignore protection. Now, don't get me wrong, the things are great too. You know, the level 6, you get to ramp up your offense for all the debuffs that are being inflicted on the enemy. And of course, Wampa gets a bit extra bonus damage with the tenacity. If the more tenacity Wampa's got, the more damage you're gonna get. Cool. But it's that level 9 you really need. And again, not hard to really put together, but unlike the Rolo one where you can basically do it in 2 minutes, you gotta farm a little bit in Conquest, right? In order to get the Wampa datacron. Again, these are free to put together. Datacrons are free to an extent, right? You can get like, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 free, like minimal effort. If you want the full roster of datacrons, which I have never had a maxed out roster of datacrons, that's when you got to spend a little bit more moolah crystals. So anyway, let's go show you the gameplay in action. A reminder, you still want the usual stuff in your Wampa. You want the Omicron to get the tenacity gains, all the other defense, max health, max protection, offense gains. You guys should be, Wampa, I believe, is it the first? It's either the first or second most popular Omicron in the game. I can't remember if it was Qui-Gon number one. 1 to 2 are the number one. But anyways, let's get to rolling some gameplay. I'm gonna leave links down below to the variety of people that shared their gameplay. You can tell when something is hot when gameplay is spreading like wildfire. Unlike Darth Vader, where I think I saw only my gameplay. That Wampa, everybody and their mother's posting on Reddit, Discord, YouTube. So again, I want you guys to go down below, check out all these different videos, do some research on your own too. Here is, boy, this guy's a handsome man, boy. Anyways, that's me from another dimension here. I didn't have anything like fantastic to really test out against my first opponent. Kind of had a lighter defense. And I was like, all right, well, I got the Saw Gerrera. And again, Saw Gerrera is a pretty nice team. I smacked Saw Gerrera into a whole other shadow realm. The basic ability just landing hot damage. I was blown away. I was like, holy cow, I knew it looked good on paper, but this much damage? Check this out. A Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. Now, I don't know if I could say confidently you can go up against Darkside Vision Raycron. That is a whole different hemisphere of a team. Give it a shot, see what happens. I think the Darkside Vision Raycron is going to put you down. But what's looking like it's going to be pretty, probably one of the best ways of using Wampa is going to be maybe going up against some of these other Galactic Legends you're going to see in Grander. And here's some gameplay provided by Blackbird 33, where we're going up against Leia. I mean, we have another one as well to show, just to kind of give you a couple options. Look at this, in less than 30 seconds. Where'd she go? Wampa's like the great Houdini, boom, boom. Where did she go? I don't know. That looks pretty good. Of course, there was no datacron on that, so be careful, you know. A datacron on the opposing Leia seemed to be specific. Maybe if Leia with all the bonus protection could be a problem. Hard to say, but again, here's another gameplay here. As you can see, no stun on the Wampa. So that was always one of the biggest challenges. Wow. One smack to the face, Leia. She gone. Oh my gosh. But that was always one of the biggest problems for Wampa. Of course, you have the tenacity gains, right, to really make sure that Wampa's, you know, staying safe from stuns, like from inversity and whatnot. But still, there was ways to get stuns, like with Malik tenacity down, then Dooku comes up the basic, pokes Wampa in the face, Wampa stun, GG's. You don't have to worry about that anymore. Even SLKR can't stun the Wampa, which is nuts. Here's some gameplay that people started seeing inside of Territory Wars. I'm going to show some Territory gameplay after this, but all this is 33 Grand Arena right now. Going up against Wampa, this looks pretty safe. Like 30 seconds, the team's basically dead, but there's a massive but. And Wampa's got a massive but here, let me tell you. You gotta be a little careful of thermal detonators with all those max health gains. With, you know what Uncle Ben said in Spider-Man? With great max health comes greater thermal damage, the thermal detonator damage. Iconic line, last words he said, God bless Uncle Ben. But here's some gameplay inside of Territory Wars, which keep in mind, this one, Embo's got his Omicron. He's ready to rock and roll, and I like the Embo Omicron more than Chrysanthemum's Omicron for Grand Arena. Again, a little scary, but you just gotta let the Wampa cook. You gotta believe in the power that RNGesus has bestowed upon us. Wampa's gonna get ready. We're boosting up our damage here. And again, remember, we're inside of territories. That datacron allows Wampa to be used. Getting that bonus protection. Once you have that bonus protection, you are in the clear. And look at that. What happened to the team? The team's almost gone. So as long as you can survive that opening bombardment from Jabba, and again, specifically the thermal detonators, life's gonna be fine. Life's gonna be good. I think this is actually be more helpful in territories. I don't see too many Jabbas in Grand Arena. On my free-to-play, I kind of see them kind of often. And once in a while, even I put Jabba on defense on. But at the end, if Wampa's going to get through it, probably not the best idea to put Jabba on defense for the time being. But wow, look at that. That was a big smack right to the big slug space there. We got a little bit of other stuff I want to show you guys too here. Hold on to your butts for a moment. Now, we got to sit the turtle here. This is the first gameplay that I was made aware of a couple days ago during the Brutus testing. This is again Territory Wars. Wampa going in there. Now, Wampa already had a degree of power, consistency against Sith Eternal, right? And this isn't like the craziest Sith Eternal team out there. You know, generally, if you want the bigger ones, you get like Traya, you get like Malik in there, Darth Revan. I still want to believe with this datacron, Wampa can get through something like that. Because again, stuns are not going to be a concern for you whatsoever. Now, I want to give a special shout out to Ghoul Eye Patch. Again, link down below. This is, again, everyone's going to be primarily using Wampa with the Wampa datacron, right? Well, we said a moment ago, these are some of the craziest stats on a datacron from an offensive perspective. Just offense, crit damage, armor penetration. if you want, again, this is the part I'm not too crazy about datacrons, but it's gosh, I remember back to when mods first came out, people are losing their minds over the initial mod games. Datacrons make that look like ancient history with how many stats you get. But anyways, I'm kind of getting off the tracks there for a moment. There could be a lot of cool ways to use this up against other Galactic Legends with other teams here. Here's, for example, Jedi Anakin. You know, we love the Anakin nuke around here, whether it's with Qui-Gon. We had a lot of fun when Keller and Beck first came out. Anakin could really hit hard. When you're stacking on this datacron from Wampa, of course, you're not going to get the level 369 benefits, but all those stats mean that you're going to be nuking out teams left and right. So all I'm saying is Wampa's got so much flexibility with datacron. Wampa itself, or getting a little creative and maybe just putting on these stats and some of these teams that do massive damage already, well, you can get even more damage. And, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if people end up using this datacron on defense, not with Wampa, but just for a team like maybe Anakin or something of that nature, or a Galactic Legend, and getting 100% offense, crit damage, armor penetration. Yeah, that's kind of nuts. So anyways, people, this was just literally day one of Grand Arena 3v3, not even a 5v5 Grand Arena for the next month here, and people are going crazy over this. If you like the Dark Sidious datacron, you are gonna love this. Dark Sidious datacron, I love it. I wish it was a permanent thing in the game, but Darth Sidious is a little bit easier to work around. It's easy to kind of plan for it, kind of stop him, because his whole gimmick is he needs to get the damage over times to kill you off. Wampa's just straight up damage, man. One smack, you go! Oh my gosh, excited to see what you guys do with it. Please, please, please. Even if you don't like datacrons that much, get that. You're gonna be doing yourself a massive disservice if you, again, don't get to level 3, which takes I said 5 minutes, it takes 2 minutes to do. They get that. The Wampa crown, as we're in the last few days of it, hopefully you're getting close to your gold, red crates, or at the minute, if you're not going for any crates, at least farm the materials for this crown right here. But that's gonna wrap it up for today, my friends. Thank you so much for spending the time with me. Oh man, and I can't wait to see what we're gonna do the rest of this Grand Arena season, the 5v5. Oh man, the bread and butter of this game. And of course, you know, there's this thing called territories, and I'm glad that, you know, I swear this is some of the most territory footage I've seen in the community in a while, and it's all because of the Wampa datacron here. Hey, you know what? Datacron's brought something good. People saw territory war gameplay. People forget that it does exist in this game sometime. Anyways, thank you for staying and sticking around with me. Leave that like, comment down below, subscribe so you're not missing a thing, and whoa, got that. Always remember, it's great to be in the Empire today. Today, the sun never set.